into it. We can get into it. Body fluids on the floor, get into it like a hood. We can get into it. We can get into it. Body fluids on the floor, get into it like a hood. What's the motion? Swing a right finger with a left, going straight, take the heart out his chest. Nut buck in the club, homegirls lose the heel saying, fuck my new curls and fuck them bum bitches. They talk like they hands on Mike Tyson. It's kill to be killed when I'm fighting. My sisters not watching, they jumping like double dutch. They like transition cause violence is given. Soft bitches is tripping.
Baby, please don't die. Hey, motherfucker, damn, shit, could y'all niggas listen now yourselves? I mean, some niggas jumped through, you know, I whooped their ass and I laid her on this couch. That's all I'm up.
I knew you'd discover love.
Huh? Hey, man, take your light green ass to the next room, please. Soft ass nigga, fuck out of here. Where the fuck I put my Cheetos at? Oh, hell to the nah. You brought this bitch back to the single location. She tried to catch Subway in the hood, got knocked out.
She not gonna remember nothing that happened. You trying to hit that?
Go clean your motherfucking room. Hurry up, get out of here. Go. Damn, there's a big ass sewer rat. What the fuck they feeding him? What are you trying to... Oh, you trying to fuck? I'm telling.
Yeah, don't mind me. Ooh, freak me, baby. Oh, you burning up, girl. Must be burning up my love. You ever had rat in your mouth, bitch? Oh, hey, the bitch won't. I was just checking your temperature, girl.
Hey. How y'all gonna sit there and let this rat fuck me?
Girl, I don't care who you tell. I'm trying to fuck.
You a super freak, right? Fuck you think this is, bitch? I ain't Mickey Mouse. Was good. Sorry. Daddy, she got shoes on your couch. Get your feet off my motherfucking couch. I don't know where I am. Whoa, look at this shit.
Fuck your house, bitch. This Section 8.
Damn.
I personally think you're ugly as fuck.
Oh, it's the fifth. Oh, hey, bitch, you got that EBT card. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. You know, hey, let me get that up off you, girl.
I even had my turtles walk you home.
Guys, you gotta leave me some, all right? Oh, girl, you're so sweet.
Girl, don't tell nobody about this location. I don't have to fuck you up.
I trust her.
Shut the fuck up, man.
I won't tell no one. You can trust me, guys.
Could you please hurry the fuck up? Thank you. Shit. Alright, this is first. I'll go see your ass later. We'll get them stamps too.
Alright, man.
She belongs to the streets.
Yo, what up? Welcome to Dudes Brewing.
I'm Bender.
Yep, and it's your boy Kels. We in the place to be.
We got some shit for you today.
Some thug, thizzle, a little bit of something, a little something. A little spice,
We always bring the heat, baby.
Exactly.
Today, what we got on? What we got on, Mr. Kels?
We're covering the subject of casual dating, casual sexual partners.
Yeah, a bit of both.
Bit of both.
We've had the question from our peers, in particular, someone who had a partner and their partner said, why? Why can men or people in general, I don't know which one they were stating, but it's so like crazy. That's just so silly. That's so and which is fine.
Yeah.
But Kels, can you break it down? Why? Like, why do you think that dudes or women, if you think women can or cannot, why casual sex?
Yeah.
Why can that happen or can't happen?
Yeah. So, I mean,
what do you think?
I think, I would say casual sexual partners is something that it can happen, obviously, in a dating scenario or situation. Like, we can find a one-nighter or somebody that we want to enjoy. I think it's more around, like, whether it's healthy or not to have casual sexual partners. I would say for men, we're able to... Well, men, just in general, because we can have multiple kids throughout a year, we don't have any sort of like bandwidth on like the effects of having sexual partners.
Oh, wow.
Okay. It's a pimple, Phyllis. Avril Lavigne gets them all the time, and she rocks harder than anyone alive.
That's no pimple, Michael.
Okay, you know what? Might be crawling with herpes.
So, like, we could indiscriminately choose to have babies all throughout the year if we opt to, and there's willing participants, you know, for our enjoyment. It's mutual, you know.
Willing participants.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Who's next?
What's that? Well, willing concubines. The willing concubines are really,
Nah, I like the way he said it.
Eager beavers.
Bark like a dog.
No, but seriously, yeah, if we got mutual willing grounds, and and they're keen for it, then you can have multiple sexual partners. For men, it's easy for us, but for women, is it healthy? I would say for women, it's a bit more detrimental because during the sexual course and interaction, women release oxytocin, which is a hormone that men don't release while engaged into sexual activity. And with the oxytocin release, what that does is it puts an emotional imprint and also mental imprint on that person, that they've just given themselves to you and now they want to seek comfort. It's a need of needing to be coddled or held. Yeah. So
no, like that's 100% true. And what Kels is saying is I'm sure people have read it or seen it. That almost bond that women do get.
You see it on movies. You know what that's about.
Yeah, you go. Like, so you see it in your day-to-day life. It's not something that's just started today. So, and that
juice.
Hey, he thirsty.
Sipping on the juice.
He's thirsty. But that bond that can happen is I would say isn't in every. It's just definitely for majority guys. It's not a thing that happens. Yeah. And I for my sake, when we were having this discussion with some peers, I did ask a majority of the girls. I said, "Hey, you been on Tinder?"
Yeah.
They said yes. Then we asked, "Did guys have casual sex?"
Yeah.
And I will say, I think it was out of the 8, I think about 7 were like, nope. Like, they tried it.
Yeah.
They didn't like it. So ask yourself this question.
So you asked them if they had casual sex?
Yeah, I was like, did you have it? Did you like it? What was it? And they were honest. They were like, one girl did say she tried it.
Okay.
She gave it a go.
Wait, and the rest said they never had casual sex?
Oh, no. 7, like they all tried it. Okay. So 7 had tried it, but did not like it. And within that 8, the 7 that had tried it and whatever it was, they all had different reasons to why they didn't like it.
Yeah.
And that answered my question. Out of 8, only 1 girl was like, I don't mind it. 7 were like, no. 1 tried it and said, yes, I tried it, but I found as soon as I did not like it. I don't know what it is. I don't want to see multiple guys. In fact, the other 3 said the same thing. They were like, I just can't go through with it. You're like, oh, what? That's crazy. And I said to them, if I took 7 guys and I said, listen, you can go out there and you're going to bang girls, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even told you what they look like. Guys are saying yes before we've even mentioned what they look like.
They're
keen.
Keen ass.
Listen, you're about to get with some girls. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where they at?
Where they at?
Line them up like bowling balls. So we rack them down.
Tighten out of sight. I'm going to shake the tree from the roots and rake up the fruits. Rip it up out the ground. Find out what's going down. Don't worry about tomorrow, mama, because tonight...
Dynamite's gonna make everything all right.
Euphoria, shut the fuck up. I know that was you. I ain't even got to look. I should send your ass back to Crenshaw Pete with his hot-ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like that?
And that's the casual thing. Guys are, boom, I'm ready to do it. But you see how they wouldn't think about it.
Yeah.
Our counterpart, if I asked 8 females, 7 females, the same thing, they'd be, I'd get no's.
For us, we don't need any sort of preparation behind it, but I think seeing a bunch of slongs, like nightly, men's meat or different variety of meat, it has an effect on someone, looking at that. Different lengths of penises and some big, some small. All of that can be like traumatizing.
And I was about to say, I like what he said. It can have an effect on some people.
Yeah.
And I don't think some of the people who maybe do it don't want to talk about it. It's not something that
you get psychologically effed looking at, a bunch of slongs.
Or doing a bunch of slongs.
Yeah, doing a bunch of slongs. And you're releasing oxytocin.
To all these different guys. Yeah. And again, it's not something they're proud of to talk to about their friends. They'll tell you the good parts. Oh, he was this. Oh, he was that.
Yeah.
But when they're home alone and they're in their own head, this is the part that you're not seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
it'd take a toll on you.
Yeah, the only girls that like I've known that have been able to like try to engage in like casual sexual partners, they're almost like mentally broken to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can use the term digmatized. You know, there are some ladies that get gratification from getting male attention, and then depending on how they view themselves or how they may value themselves at an early age, sometimes they realize that like they can get a lot of benefits off sexual attention.
Yeah, yeah.
And so their maturity kind of caps off there, and so they just get more interested in like trying to exchange value by sexual activity to feel a worth or a value or feel wanted themselves, which happens in different scenarios. A lot of times it's in broken homes. It's, you know, it can be potential a bad situation between two parents where, you know, it's a bunch of single parenting that's going on. The daughter may not have a connection with her father, so out of that lack of a connection with her father, she doesn't really know how to work with men, but she realizes that she can get attention from men if she shows off something physical of herself. And they can get really caught up in that. That's just how you can end up with girls that end up doing stripping and OnlyFans, these sorts of things or whatever, and try to mask, you know, their trauma with money. They try to mask it, go get a Louis Vuitton bag, get a Birkin bag, you know, get
trips overseas,
you know, and try to hide the psychological damage behind.
And it's a lot of hiding behind a lot of pain.
Hiding behind the social view of success, yeah.
And if you broke it down with some of these women, you do find a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Because it would take anyone, like it would take a toll on anyone. You're doing things that as a human you probably shouldn't be doing for, like, you know, like you'd think that you're worth more than, like, I don't know.
Than just the physical activity of things or whatever.
And I think that's the toll that it takes on a human is when you're alone, you start to think, is this all anyone wants me for?
Yeah.
Is this as good as I get?
Yeah.
Is pretty much.
And honestly, it's really only a subject matter predominantly in different markets, but it's more prominent in the West, in like Western countries.
Oh, yeah.
Like the idea of like going around sleeping indiscriminately with people and like, you can do whatever you want, girl. You know, go live your life. Go
fuck like 20 guys if you want. And you'll tell that person that, but you won't do it yourself. That's the craziest thing. I've seen women say, they'll tell them, go do it, but they won't do it themselves.
Women giving other women really bad advice.
Stop waiting for him to text you. You're waiting for him to text you when you could be getting attention, validation, and gifts from a hotter guy with a bigger dick.
What? Just because a woman is a woman does not mean she has good advice. Just because a woman is older than you, just because a woman is married, that does not mean that she has good advice for you. I seen a post about Lisa Leslie that she said she may die alone because men don't find her attractive and she's not having luck in her dating life. So I went to the comment section. I like to read comments just to see other people's perspectives. A lot of the comments were like, girl, they need to accept you for how you are. Don't worry, it's okay to be alone. You should be happy and single. Help me. Don't tell me words to just make me feel better. Actually help me get a solution to my problem. Clearly, we're all here. We all want companionship. Men and women, made a woman to be with the man. So it's natural for us to want that. So no, she should not have to get comfortable with being by herself. No, she should not feel, oh, a man has to just accept you the way that you are. And like I was telling my family one time, I was like, yeah, this guy, he told me that I had to lose weight. And I'm not even a big girl, but you know, my weight fluctuates. He told me, he was like, you got to get down to 170.
You got to be careful who you listen to. I've seen so many,
it's crazy, right?
So many women, mainly single women, misadvising single women. I tell girls all the time, single women keep you single because they will misadvise you to a detriment. And what that is it's
true.
It's trauma bonding. They'll trauma bond.
Yeah.
And so someone will misadvise you based on their experience and tell you, oh, men are like such and such and such. And so now they've just got you going around and just like sleeping with whoever, you know? So
I want to send a message to young women who are career-minded who want to meet someone. The kind of man that you are going to want and respect is going to want a woman who has their own identity, their own career. Not just a job that you have while you wait to find someone to take care of you, but a real career that you feel good about, something that you're building towards, a job that you take pride in, makes you feel like you've got it going on, makes you feel like you're accomplished and you respect yourself. That's what someone else is going to respect. You are not going to want a man who is attracted to a woman that is just waiting to walk down that aisle, get that ring, and wear that dress. Because it's a long road, and that kind of stuff catches up with you. And what happens is it all seems great when it's the beginning and everyone's playing house. But when you get into the trenches years later, that's when people wish they had their own identity, wish they built something. So when you're young and you don't have entanglements and you don't have multiple kids to feed and multiple mortgages, that's the time to really dig your heels, work your career. Youth is wasted on the young in many cases, and you do not need to know anything about what relationship you're going to be in for a while. So stay the course, pay your dues, work your ass off, and what you put into it, you will get back, and then you will find the person.
And it's true, because, like, I know this is not really in the same ballpark, but am I really gonna take financial advice from someone who's broke?
Yeah, from someone that's not successful. No, it's in the same ballpark. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take financial advice, someone's a billionaire, I'm probably gonna listen. I'm gonna be like, well, you're rich.
Yeah.
I should probably let me know about your finances. But someone's broke and you're listening to their finances.
Yeah, the only person you should really consider at the end of the day is you. If you wouldn't swap places with that person, if you wouldn't exchange your life position for theirs, they're not the person you need to be listening to. You need to listen to somebody whose life you want to model yourself after. Ideally in a successful, healthy in the game, which for most people, it's a relationship. People can lie and be like, "Oh, I'm happy by myself being single." Fuck out of here. No, you're not.
And also,
if you were completely content, why do you got a dog?
Yeah.
Why do you have a little freaking jackrabbit of a vibrator? You know?
If you're so content with being just by yourself, do you know what by yourself means? It means you want to be alone. You don't need anyone. But yet you're still on dating sites as well.
Yeah, you're isolated. You're on dating sites talking about your feminism and how you don't need a man and how a man is like a useless vibrator that kind of dies on you. Like, you make these sort of statements.
But you're on a dating
But you're on a dating app looking for comfort. So it's asinine to pretend like we don't need human interaction. We need each other. We complement each other. If we didn't complement each other, how were we born? Because a male and a female came together and birthed you. It doesn't matter your gender identity or whatever it is you want to pose or hide behind. That is what humanity has been here on Earth to do, is to procreate, create a better society, better human beings, mother, daughter, son, father, ideally stability, not degeneracy.
100%.
Yeah, so sleeping around indiscriminately is like,
and
degenerate.
Yeah,
it's honestly it's degenerate activity.
And I guess
we don't mind it, for the night. Dudes don't mind it. We're not, we could be selfish and not say these things to you, but we're being genuine, being honest. Like, and this could really fuck up your life at the end.
And you gotta be honest with yourself. You're saying like, yeah, like it's my life. Yeah, it's a lot of like I find like a lot of girls I met like in my life who are like, yeah, I'll sleep with 50 guys, but they don't do it. And I say, if you're like, I'm so for it, why don't you do it? Because subconsciously or somewhere in there,
innately, hoeing is bad.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
innately, hoeing is bad.
So if you're so down for it, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
But I'm so proud of it, but you don't do it. In fact, the ones that have told me they do it, that's not even hoeing. Do you even understand what that is? That, oh yeah, I can't just sleep. I got to get to know them. That's dating. That ain't. I don't think you understand what that. When a guy does it, he can literally.
We can do it with no emotional.
Not even a name.
We don't need your name. We don't need a conversation. We don't need emotional connection.
Nothing.
And women tend to want to talk and have these conversations in general because it's a psychological comfort that they're at least they need to get something from you in order to feel okay with opening
like what they're doing. They're like, I got to know
to
him.
Mentally cope. Yeah.
He did tell me we did go for a dinner So that was
paid for the meal.
Paid for the meal. See, he's a bit of a gentleman. I didn't just sleep with any guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just like, listen, that ain't really homie. I'm sorry. You obviously can't do what a guy can do.
Yeah, and you
can't do it.
And you're not supposed to be on Earth trying to do what we do. You know, there's been a lot of promo being put out there that you guys have been subjugated and not being able to have the opportunities men have. Do you really want to be in a construction company and be building buildings on a massive scale? A lot of women would not sign up for that.
Fuck no. It's when the opportunities are given, time and time again, it's shown that you don't do it. I have sex with 50 guys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the oil rigs and work there. I don't want to do that. What the fuck do you want to do?
Yeah, exactly. Dude.
So you obviously don't want to do these things.
We don't see any female plumbers.
This is my boyfriend, Mario.
Charmed to finally meet your acquaintance, Mario.
Oh,
did a pig shit out a dead fetus in here?
Oh, I beg your forgiveness. I come here through the sewer line.
Yeah, so why fight so hard for it?
Do you really want to crawl underneath like someone's house and start doing electrical work and putting in power lines and no
roofing? Nope.
No, you don't. You know,
you genuinely don't. And again, time again shows.
And if you do, it was probably because you were like raised by a dude, you know, who wanted a son, so he got you on a farm and he got you milking all the cows. And he's got you chopping trees like you're a lumberjack.
And wait, you know what's funny? And I always say, like, and it's fine for the women who do that.
Which is cool.
It's super cool.
Which is cool.
But have you seen the body type that a female body changes when she does these things? Again, look at rugby players. Ask any guy, is our rugby players the sexiest female athletes?
It's like a fitness champion, like body, like she was like, not super swole, but she was like, you know, like she was a champion.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought, oh, you know, I'm into working out and everything else, and she's into working out, but I never could put my finger on, like, why am I, like, super excited about this? She had these big mirrors all over her bedroom. Right? Damn, my arm looks pretty damn good. That ain't my arm. And I realized that's her arm I'm looking at. Looking from the back, and you see a bunch of muscles, like Pac-Man when it gets eaten, shit shuts down, and you go, oh, I get it. Because that vision, that kind of looks a little masculine right there.
You know, that's such a sexist thing. It's not a sexist thing. I'm just awesome. Yeah. They will always go, nah. They built like dudes.
You need to face it, man. Like, men like the Sports Illustrated ladies. We're
talking like a tennis player.
We like girls in swimsuits.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's normally the most feminine woman that you'll see on boats, on yachts, that don't have a problem with masculinity. They don't have an issue with
I was going to say, you don't see
any capacity.
The English rugby team on super yachts.
It's always the girls that are like the least attractive and had some sort of trauma that ends up having an issue with a guy being masculine. And they find that demeaning. But the very feminine girls that you see on these boats in bikinis, you go, no, he's subjugating you. He has you on a boat. She's like, no, I'm enjoying life. Like
I'm on this boat.
He's a provider. He's built himself up to this point to be able to have this boat.
Yeah.
So therefore, I get why he has it, and I appreciate all of his ambition. That means he has direction in life. He has something stable to him that makes him of value, and he's shown that to the market. And why would that subjugate me? I want to enjoy these luxuries. I don't want to be out on the side of the boat being an engineer for the boat and, you know, drilling holes so that I can prove to him I could do what you can do.
He'll probably be like, all right, cool.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm still sailing out of here.
You're a taxpayer. Thumbs up for you. It's just like, no. Ancient times, and any wise woman, that if there's a man that's able to out there and be a provider, she signs up for that and go, cool, I will do what I'm good at, which is making your life at ease while you go out and conquer the world. Yeah. I don't need to be on the front lines of a war with an AK-47 because I want to prove I can do what a man can do. Now, if I get captured, I'm getting gang raped by a group of dudes. My whole battalion might die trying to rescue me. I put all these men in danger because I have the advent of being a female and I'm innocent, that they're going to want to come and save me. You know, so no, you're not meant to do the same things men are doing.
And again, if you want to, what I gotta add is like it's totally cool, but you've got to understand that you got to stop blaming society for the outcomes. Oh, I joined this team and this wrestling team, and yeah, you got back muscles and traps, and you built like Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger, and you're like, why are these men? Well, yeah, I'm sorry, I ain't trying to fuck my homie, like, and that's just that's the consequences of the thing you picked.
Yeah.
Some jobs make you build. I seen some girls like through sport and through work, and they start getting hench. And when I say hench, they are solid, solid. They're like male wrestlers or something.
Yeah, I don't want a female electrician that is just like, you know, jacked up and
Jacked
shit.
up,
She's like, yeah, I've been roofing for like fucking 10 years.
Hands are rough and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Give me that dick.
But
You know,
yeah,
it's like,
hands are.
it's a fetish, you know, like, but still.
Again, and like, and you're forgetting you cannot be blaming people for the thing that you picked. The same way, if I decided to go, which is, again, I don't care if men do this. I don't know. I actually don't know any that do. Early child care, which is predominantly female dominated industry.
From a nurturing aspect, you know? I mean...
It's going to be very hard for that man to find a partner because it's not the most attractive thing to a lot of females.
Yeah, no, I mean, and a male nurse is already seems like not even necessarily a nurse, but like a male like a nanny is a little creepy.
Allegedly, they've had a male nanny for they're saying 10 years.
Who the fuck does that?
Male nannies are very weird. Like I've never even really heard of male nannies. I guess it's a thing they call mannies. I think probably in the gay community it might be more popular if you have like two men who have a child, so they get a male nannies just to kind of
keep it all
keep the whole thing going. But
confusing. The risk of this man trying to penetrate, whether it's a boy or a girl, would be much higher than a woman because she's not trying to penetrate anything.
I'm a nice guy. You get to know me.
Shut up! What the hell are you talking about? I am a boy.
It is,
because we've got penises, so we have like an incentive to penetrate something, you know. So like with that in mind, because we have that testosterone, you may come off, you know, like a little like pedo-ish, you know.
Well, I just don't
come
know.
off a little map.
I just don't know a lot of people who've been like, hey, it's my father, he's a nanny.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Never heard. Oh, he.
Unless it's family, but you know, but outside of that, like.
I've never heard of it. This is my father. He's early childcare person.
I wouldn't get a manny. Sorry, I'm not getting a manny and being like shocked.
Oh, here's another one. Never been introduced to a partner who's like, yeah, he's a nail technician.
Yeah. He's a nail tech.
He's a nail tech. Like, he does hair. Like, I've just never ever met partners unless they were friends who were gay, like two men.
Yeah, same.
And I do back home, and he owns a hair salon.
And things of that sort.
And he's gay, and it makes sense because growing up as a kid, that's what he liked.
Yeah, exactly.
But I never seen a straight couple be like, "It's my guy there. He's a nail tech."
Yeah.
I would have been like, "What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?"
Yeah, do you when you go to a nail salon, you know, that may be owned by like a Vietnamese family or you know, or a Chinese family or a community or whatever the case that sort, you hardly see any male nail techs in there.
I've never, and I've been to a few because I did handball.
Unless it's like an extreme like need, they need the assistance, they're short staff. You
might see one though.
You might see one, but
and he's part of the family.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And that one exception doesn't make the rule. The rules are made by the generality. That's how people do their research. They do things in generality and they look at common patterns. Patterns reveal all. So patterns is saying, hey, this is actually what people are prone to doing. Doesn't matter whether you like it or dislike it, but this is what the research and evidence shows.
And I love the people who may argue with me. Well, I would date a guy who... No, you wouldn't. You're it's the same as me being like, yeah, I would go clean up the beach with plastic. I can say it, but I wouldn't do it.
I would say they could do it, but they wouldn't be long term.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be long term. There's a lot of ladies that are just like I would say mentally just screwed with the whole idea of feminism and gender reversal things, and so they're like, oh yeah, I'd like to date a guy
Who's a nanny?
Who's a nanny or that paints his fingernails. You know.
I think this generation of women have become so masculine, yeah, that some feminine behaviors in men actually turn them on.
Wow.
Maybe. Like
That's very interesting.
That is what I believe. I believe that so many women of this younger, let's say this generation, have become so masculine.
I think there's a massive war on masculinity right now, but I think it's a war which has been going on for a very long time. I mean, you only need to look at like media headlines, for example. They say if a man wants to be fit and strong, he's suddenly right wing. They talk about gym bros being dumb and all this stuff. You're also now encouraging men to cry and to do all these emotional things. I think they're trying to make women more masculine and make men more feminine, but it's so toxic. If a man is brave and strong, suddenly that's toxic masculinity. If a man wants to provide for his family, that's toxic masculinity. When it comes to equality and wanting quotas, you never hear anything about plumbers, builders. No, you don't want more female builders.
He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious?
I just think a lot of women are all in their emotions. They say they want one thing, but they really want another. I agree with Andrew when he says women don't know what they want. Women think they want a nice guy. They don't want a nice guy that end up walking all over him and disrespecting him. 90% of women may hate Andrew, but I think would like a man like Andrew. I think women are more emotional. So like, yes, if you see a video of Andrew saying something which is harsh and naturally exaggerated for marketing purposes, it's going to trigger an emotion in you. And then I think it takes, from my experience, either more time or a man around you to say, hang on, Leia, like, why don't you look at it from this perspective, you know, and you can actually see the logic. And then you're like, oh yeah, okay, actually that makes sense. So I think women naturally are going to not like him because we are emotional.
Toxic masculinity is a term that was invented by women nobody wants to fuck to describe the men that the women do want to fuck.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
That's all it is.
A woman being a bum to us, well, we don't really look at women as bums. For us, it's more to do with your loyalty. Yeah. And it's to do with your attitude in life, whether you're arrogant, whether you've got that overly confident nature. To us, it's repulsive. But a woman having no money and a woman not being well connected, do you think we give a shit?
Like a guy that's independent, that pays his bills, like gets the bag. I'm like, sign me up. But to a man, that's like that's a red flag.
One of those K-pop dudes or whatever. They'll like a guy that's a little feminine boy, femboy. But and they say they like that, and you know they'll try it, but it'll never last because it's innately it's not you don't view that as security. You don't view that as somebody that can protect you or even something respectable.
And what Kel said,
you
try it.
Out of hypergamy, you know, you'll try it just to look socially friendly.
And that's what I mean. Like, you'd try it like the same way I would try something I wouldn't eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be like, well, yeah, I don't want to try that again, though. But great, I tried it.
Yeah.
And that's the part I'm saying. You'll try it, but you won't keep to it.
Yeah.
And that's the part I'm like, don't fool yourself. Don't lie. Like, yes, you do it just to prove a point. Yeah, see, I dated blah, blah, blah. And see, so it's no biggie. Give it 10 years, you're going to lose your damn mind. You're going to be like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah, we should actually get a girl on a panel, like, and just ask her, like, you know, would you date a femboy or a guy that might happen to be bisexual?
Oh yeah,
and ask them that because
that'd be really good.
I've seen quite a few of these segments of different people giving their feedback on it, and 9 times out of 10, ladies, they'll want to try to date a guy that swings both ways, but like it's just the advent of like STIs and stuff like that I've heard girls had horror stories of them trying to be with a dude that who's bi, and he comes back home with fucking herpes.
Damn.
You know, or something, or someone breaks out around someone's mouth. So yeah, like,
and then also even if it's not that, like some of the girls I've not lots, but
just because
they just are not into it for some reason.
It's a hygienic thing. It's it's just like, yeah.
And also, I just don't think girls see though a lot of guys who do that as I don't know, like there's just something that it just doesn't. Like for a guy, it's easy. Like, yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
But and it's hot. But the same way girls don't watch gay porn. Like
yeah,
they're like, oh yeah, love gay porn.
Yeah, watch two dudes slapping it out.
Yeah, they don't.
No.
And that's not even them doing it, so they can't catch anything. There's just something about it that they're like, not for me. Whereas guys will watch two girls getting it on.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
great.
Yeah. For us,
I love that shit.
For us, yeah, we're keen on that or whatever.
Yeah,
So, they actually did a segment on it. This is a very controversial topic, but they were explaining that a lot of women like grape scenes in porn.
yeah.
They get turned on. They get turned on by it. You know, it's the same way. So like they get into like murder mysteries.
Oh,
and things
man!
But they get turned on by it, by like the extremity of the situation, and then also because it's a man being so like masculine and dominating the situation. Yeah. This is how you get people in kinks and BDSM, and these sorts of things. So
and I had to learn because I didn't know about this. About that, and it was the first time I ever experienced it. It was very for a man. It was very shocking because obviously in life you're like don't you ever do that, and then you're getting the people who are like don't ever do that, telling you in bed to do that.
Yeah,
and you're like wait
that.
what?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, being with the lady and she's just like grab my neck and slap me, and you're like
wait what?
Choke you and slap you? What? You want me to hunt? What?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Or, if I'm saying no, keep going. Wait, you want me to what? Isn't that a little yeah. I'm like, it's kind of crazy. You're really into this, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Might need to sign an NDA contract.
Oh, legit.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to sign some shit. You ain't suing me after.
Yeah, man.
So the psychological things around that is interesting. The fact that
I think so. It's like someone's been sexually broken that sometimes they need those extreme things to be satisfied.
Huh.
There's some people that are like that. They get like so sexually broken by somebody. Someone really went hundy on them that now they need that. And they can't go.
They can't even go. They can't go back to vanilla.
Yeah. I've had an experience with a chick, and where she was on top of me, and we were pretty young while this was happening or whatever. And I was inside her clavicle. I'm trying to be polite about her vag, and then she did a hole swap on me. Wow. And I didn't realize she did it, like, cause she was on top, and she just swapped it.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this feels different. It's a little tighter.
Wow.
Yeah.
She just did that.
Literally just did it like it was nothing.
Wow.
But it was because of her prior experience with another dude. They did that and she got so turned on by it. She preferred to have anal than she did to have normal sex.
Fair enough.
So, and I was happy because it made her happy and it was tighter, So I had no complaints. But yeah, sometimes I think, some people, they get exposed to things that like mentally and potentially physically break them, and so like they need that extremity to get turned on. So this is literally why BDSM is a whole genre.
Yeah.
It's a whole genre of a thing that's not discussed. Like even with Andrew Tate and his girl.
Like because discussing that is a whole. If you had to explain this to your average. Male or female.
It's always secret and low key. You never hear people in the open talking.
It's crazy. It is
crazy.
But
it is a whole world that sort of exists within itself.
Yeah.
Now, is it healthy for you long term? They said the ratio for women is once she gets up to 5 sexual partners. Once she goes past 5. The likeliness of her finding any sort of satisfaction in her life drops dramatically. Because of because of women's hypergamy, she's incentivized to want to look for something better.
Okay.
And because she's already had 5 different experiences with 5 different dudes, her level of satisfaction with men just drops dramatically, and she's constantly looking for the next best thing.
Okay.
Or she had this one experience that she's been trying to relive.
Oh, okay, so
she can spend her whole life trying to chase this one guy. Even if you could get a guy she lost her virginity to, and it didn't last that long. She keeps dating that prototype of guy that looks something similar to him.
Interesting.
Or has some of the attitude or edge or whatever that he may have had, or like a sample of it. So but there's an actual chart. I'll actually.
You should find it.
I'll show you.
Oh no! Yeah, please.
No. It's here. And cut. Did you see that? Yeah. So we're not talking.
No receipts.
We're not talking in hypotheticals, but the ratio of women being satisfied and being stable in a relationship drops dramatically. Their stability drops dramatically if they reach past 5 sexual partners. Let's say two is normally they're going to be with you for life. If they go past 2, then they're pretty much just it slowly dwindles down. But 5 is like the point of no return, and they're saying this is why 80% of like divorces are initiated by women. Just out of hypergamy, a lot of them tend to not be satisfied if they've gone through that many sexual partners. So it's not saying your relationship might not last. They might settle on you because it's like for them they feel like that's the best they can get at this point.
Yeah.
Based off all the exposure they had, you know, and they settle down way later in life.
Would you say that men do the same thing? Like in the sense of would you say we're satisfied once we found someone like we're like, wow, this is amazing?
Yeah, men are very simple. We find a lot of comfort and just peace of mind. You know, we value quality time. We don't necessarily need cuddles, whatever, but like we value quality time with a person, and if we can find quality time with you, then for us that's something substantial because we go out and we face the world, and you know we're always have pressure on us to be providers. So we can find comfort within you as a nurturer, you as a lady and your femininity. For us, that's something simple that satisfies us. But yeah, we do have our physical needs because of the amount of testosterone that we have. So
then you're saying like men wouldn't need to go find something better?
No. Men have a primal need for sexual adventure. We do. We have a primal need for that. And we do like variety. You know, and we can do that at ease because, you know, we're able to have kids all throughout the year.
But they wouldn't leave that perfect partner for someone they just had some sex.
No. And this is why you see all the men all the time. You see these scenarios of men supposedly cheating, or whatever you want to call it, based on their relationship arrangement in Western society. You'll hear someone talk about cheating, and you see these men crying their eyes out, being like, "I love my family, I love my children, I love my wife, but I just needed something more. My wife stopped sleeping with me, and I just needed something more, or I just needed to get my physical, you know, satisfaction off because I have testosterone." So men that do sleep around in that regard, you're not crazy for that. You know, you're not crazy for having physical needs because you have testosterone. You know, without the understanding of you having 10 times the testosterone of a woman, you sort of feel like, oh, maybe there is something wrong with me that I can't really just lock down on this one particular person, especially if you're a man that's ambitious. Ambitious men, they have a lot of drive and incentive.
Well, Adam Levine's a good example for what he's saying with the whole cheating thing.
Yeah.
He did, well, people think he did cheat.
On a societal level, they viewed it as cheating because of the message that was given from the lady. The lady said he had a partner, he was married, and so they had a sexual relationship. So they quantified that as cheating. But to his wife, who didn't listen to what the lady said because she knows her husband, she's like, no, I met him like this. He was a very sexually attractive man, and that's what made me want him. He's very sexy. And because of the fact that he's so sexy, he works so hard to be a provider, he didn't build himself up to sleep with my one vagina exclusively. You know, like that's asinine. You know,
well, and a lot of girls who get angry, like, oh no, a lot of you get angry because you're thinking about yourself. If you were in her actual position and you're married with his kids, I feel most of you would go, oh, you know, I would let Adam Levine do that. He's a very, very successful guy. He's very attractive. He was doing
that before he met me.
Yeah.
He was doing that before he met me. He had multiple sexual
partners.
Yeah.
He was sleeping, and the thing is, no offense, if you don't want to, guess what? He's got another 3 million women that'll jump at the chance to be in your shoes.
Yeah.
To just be just a zilch of in his life.
Yeah.
So that's why he wouldn't care if you're like, well, I don't want a guy who's cheating on me like Adam Levine. Well, first of all, there aren't 50 million Adam Levines.
No.
So that's why his partner's like, you know what? He's a dime in a dozen.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a needle in a haystack. Having someone like him is a fucking lottery. It's a fucking win.
He got the moves like Jagger. He got the moves like Jagger. He got the moves like Jagger. You know? So that's some swag for you, you know? So he didn't work himself up to that point to just sleep with one person. And there's a lot of women that are very hubris about their value. They overvalue themselves. And I'm not saying you're not valuable, but I'm saying he had to go through so much to become what he is.
Yeah.
You are beautiful just for existing and how you are. So you don't necessarily have to do the building of anything. You just need to preserve your youth and your chastity. Essentially, at the end of the day, those are only two things that you have to do in life to make yourself be of value to someone that may not know you. And if you don't think your chastity doesn't define you, your sexual partners, it does. Because if you get in a conflict with a woman, the first thing that you'll do is attack her sexual purity or her beauty. You'll either call her a slut or ugly. It doesn't matter how rich she is. Her fucking career doesn't matter. You'll go, if it's Oprah, they'll go, yeah, she's rich, but that bitch is fat. She's fat, she's old, and she's a slut.
And also, if you don't believe it, all right, go to your partner that you see now. Tell them that you slept with 110 guys or 80 guys or 60.
That shit's gonna be
No,
over.
look at his face when you say it too.
Yeah.
Watch him not go, oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
I couldn't pay the rent. And I was too ashamed to go home. That's when I met Kit. She was a hooker and made it sound so great.
Okay. You gotta get the fuck out of here.
That's cool. My dick just shrunk.
Yeah, he's gonna be
I'm
a
moving
certain type
out.
of way.
Yeah, I'm moving
And the
out.
reason why you haven't said that to him, if you have, or whether you haven't or you don't want to try
Oh
it
no,
out.
dude. There's so many chicks that I know that have, like, they slept around so much, and then
They keep that shit quiet.
they'll carry men. Let me pre-warn you. They will carry that to the grave.
Right, I was just about to say
They
that.
will carry that to the grave.
It's like Fort Knox. You're not getting that piece of information at all.
No,
like she could have
dude.
been doing some shit all through Europe, met you somewhere else, like as a good girl or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And maybe that town of Venezuela or wherever the fuck she's been know
Yeah.
her as like that's the the town that's the girl that everybody gets with.
Yeah.
But in this new city, she's a I don't know, she's a whatever
Yeah,
new girl.
Well, she reinvents herself. Yeah.
She will not tell you about that past because straight away,
Yeah.
a lot of men will just go, ooh.
Yeah.
The same way, like, whether it's in high school, when we're in the city, when everyone knows the girl that, like, just gets with every single guy.
Yeah.
Why doesn't someone lock her down?
Yeah.
It's not because we hate women. No, it's because that's just how guys are. They're just like,
Yeah.
But Adam Levine has slept with probably thousands of women.
yeah.
Why do you think he got married?
Yeah. Because he worked himself up a value. It's not just because of just existing for beauty.
But he wasn't just hot.
And yeah, he wasn't just hot. You know, he had to show and have. I don't even think it's women being impressed with the stature of things that he has. It's not about his car, his mansion, or any of these things per se.
No.
It's the traits that he
that
had
he has,
to get that.
Yeah.
They respect the traits that he had to get that, to build himself up a value that made them go, you know what? You're sexy. You're hot. You have direction.
He's gone to the gym, has an
I
amazing,
respect you.
amazing body. He's, like you said, like all these traits that he brings up.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to keep the body he has.
Nah.
He could have not, because he still would have got girls, but he
Yeah.
did that.
Lots of cocaine.
And lots of
Baking soda, nigga.
Baking soda, I got baking soda. I'm in love with the cocoa.
and then also like the
Nah.
Okay, yeah,
That's
I thought
Robin.
so.
That's,
Robin
that's
Thicke.
Robin Thicke.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother dating situation, but yeah, but
And then obviously building his brand, his business, all these things took so much time, so much effort that the fact, and also having to to have the finesse those type of women that he
Yeah.
has. All these things are a lot of shit that
a lot of
women
shit.
look over and they go,
Yeah.
wow, you really put in the work. Whereas I'm not trying to shit on anyone, but you sleeping with like every guy in your city, isn't that impressive for guys? Because we know how much work gets put in.
Yeah, well, there is.
Sorry, how much no work
is put in. Yeah, no work is put in. This is why they say if someone uses the term sluts or whatever the case may be, this is why they say women who sleep around aren't glorified. You're not glorified because you don't have to do much for someone to sleep with you.
Yeah.
For a man to have multiple women sleeping with him, we have to provide so much that they go, you know what? You're safe enough to open my legs to. Let's go.
Go, yeah.
You know? But you don't have to do anything. You're not getting rewarded for something you didn't even do. You didn't put any effort into anything. You just kind of said, I'm available, and I had a guy that came over to my house.
A guy will literally come through fucking 50, 60 kilometers away just for you. And again, if you don't believe it, you have the tools to check me. They know, but they don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing. You know that you can message a guy right now, come over. That's all you need to say.
Exactly.
Nothing else. He might be like, what for? You could literally be like, wink face, find out. That's it. That's the 2-step process.
I need a sneaky link.
Easy.
They'll come over.
I have to write a Harry Potter novel, a whole debut, a whole film.
Yeah, I gotta talk about my career. I gotta talk about my life. I gotta talk
ambitions.
about my ambitions, my achievements.
Oh damn, man!
You know?
You're gonna be a comedian.
Yeah.
Maybe a chef.
And a lot of that can even vary on different factors. It depends on the community that you're seeing or you wanting to date or whatever. Like in the Asian community, they value money.
Money over a lot of things.
Over a lot of things.
So for
like,
them,
they
have to.
They don't care how handsome you are as a man.
Or how funny.
How funny you are. Matter of fact, if you look to urban and hip,
that's an issue.
Yeah, it's an issue for them because it doesn't say that you're being European conservative. You don't look as conservative as what their parents would expect. So they tend to go for IT guys and guys in tech that wear suits and
corporate.
These are really thimpy guys or whatever. But they'll look at a man that like has a bit of dress and flair to him, and they might just go, "Oh yeah, like no, he looks like fun boy." And my mom would not approve of it, even though if that guy may not be, that guy just may be like.
He might look like that, be worth millions.
Yeah, and that might be a part of his branding, which is interesting because they'll make an exception for a guy that they're for sure is like a celebrity.
Yes. If Will Smith came through, they would. Yeah.
What pissed me off was this girl named Jenny Ma. Have you heard of Jenny Ma?
I'm afraid not, but explain.
She's on a show in the U.S. called The Real. It's a woman's.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's got like
it's like The View.
Yeah, it's like The View, but it's like The View with like different ladies of different ethnic backgrounds or whatever. And she made a comment that an African American guy, they're for fun.
Whoa.
They're just for sexual activity only, but they're not for someone to be committed to.
You dated black guys.
Loved black guys. Yeah. I did. But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. You know, that's why I married white man. That's what I like.
Hold up. What do you mean, dark meat on the side? Because she lightweight offensive.
I'm not. I'm saying like I really do think black men are attractive. I do. Like that's my.
Well, what do you mean, dark meat on the side?
That means, honey.
You know what that means.
Wait, what are you reading it as?
How did you say it?
I'm just saying, like, when I think about men, I like dark men. I do.
You like your main man to be white and your side piece to be
Explain what you mean. Okay, what I meant is like I used to date black men. Okay, and I think they're attractive. But what I decided to stick to because it just kept me happiest was my man Freddie, who happens to be white.
Are you sure?
Yes.
A few moments later.
You know, when you get to your 40s, I'm almost there. You just really have so much to reflect upon. And for me, if I'm really honest, knowing what I know now about who I married, I wouldn't have married him.
Oh.
Oh, Jeannie. Yeah, no, I know. I don't mean to get that serious, but I'm just saying this out there because it's just crazy. You hear all the time that money can change people. Well, divorce can really change people. And it's just so weird because the one thing that he would always say back then is like, you really truly don't know a person until they don't get what they want. But I never thought he would be the one to prove that to me, you know?
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, Jeannie. So, yeah, it's just hard because,
Guess who she ends up getting with afterwards? Young Jeezy.
No.
They're married. She's married to Young Jeezy now.
Many months later.
So I'm gonna say right here that I, Jeannie Mai, going into my marriage, I want to submit to my man. Let me explain.
Okay, before you start feeling some type of way, Jeannie Mai is just letting people know she doesn't want to be the leader when it comes to her marriage with her fiance Jeezy.
Girls, it's tiring being the boss of me. It's tiring leading all the time in my life.
All the
And I
time.
go
It's
home,
tired
I
to
be
look
the boss
for
of
it.
that all the
Tiring.
time.
The real co-host is tired of making so many decisions when it comes to her career. She likes the idea of her man taking the lead at home.
I'm a very dominant woman. I own my business. I lead my teams. I played my own manager, my own publicist, my own lawyer when I didn't have money to have those people. So I make the decisions in my life. When I come home, I like the idea that my man leads us.
And she's making one thing clear. Being submissive doesn't mean she's lower than her husband.
That doesn't mean that in this case, Jay makes all the decisions for us. That doesn't mean that when he says, how are we spending our money or where are we moving, that I just say, yes, sir, or yes, your honor. Like, it's not that. It's a, you know what? I think that we would do best here. I want to do this. And he takes the decision, he formulates it with our overall vision, and he leads us. And I like to submit to that.
Jeannie said how she grew up definitely played a factor in deciding what type of marriage she wants to have.
My mom has a very strong force, and she took over a lot of decisions in the household to the point that my dad, unless it was always going to be a fight, he was like, you know what? Go ahead. Whatever you want to decide, go ahead. And I'm just going to do me. And that causes a wedge. And I can have that tendency. I'm just saying for me, I can have that tendency to follow like my mom because it's what I grew up in and I saw it.
But we have a feeling this whole submissive thing is working for Jeannie and Jeezy. I mean, hello, the man bought her a billboard proving he knows how to lead.
I just want to wish you luck on your big night tonight. Got a little something for you.
Yep, Jeannie is currently competing on this season of Dancing with the Stars, but Jeezy took matters into his own hands by telling fans to vote for her.
Who gets their fiance a billboard just to encourage people to vote for Dancing with the Stars, but on their birthday? It's his birthday right now. And he's busy getting me a billboard to help me garner votes?
It's incredible. It's the social proof and the fact that if a man has an ambition, if they can see
that you're going somewhere.
You're going somewhere, you have a public profile, a presence to you, then they can negate that and go, okay, I can consider it.
I can make a...
They make exceptions for what they open their legs to. Yeah. That's like the same with like sleeping with Chris Brown. It's the same with like letting an R&B singer have multiple partners. You would allow him to sleep around because you don't expect him to be loyal. You don't expect him to be loyal.
But also, he's at such a place in his life that you know that if he wanted to, he does have other options. You're not the top option. You're not number one. So straight away you're like, oh shit, all right, well that's cool. But as soon as remember, he's just another human male. He might not be broke, but he could be making 6 figures a year. Oh no, you can't do that though. What's the difference?
Yeah.
What is the difference?
So they tend to respect the average layman in a different way, which is like some people can say, depending on how hard that man is working, it's sort of fair enough. But you just need to understand it's in men's nature to want to sleep around because we can have kids all throughout the year. So I'm not saying that a man has a right to abuse his privilege of being able to do that, or to lie to you, to deceive you, to treat you as though like, you know, you're number 5 on the metric scale. Yeah. But you do need to understand a very ambitious man, that is part of like what gets him going is to go out and make achievements. And part of those achievements, out of him working so hard, he needs to reward himself. He needs to de-stress. He needs to relax. And he would like to sleep around.
And again, just because...
And it doesn't mean that he loves you any less.
Yeah. And I was going to say, just because you think yourself, like, I wouldn't do that. Well, again, he would. They've literally... There was a show I was listening to, and they asked... They said, if your partner was around and they said you could just sleep with these girls, would you do it? The guy's like, yes, I would.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not. These are married men. These are some single men. They would do it. Obviously, society's told them like that's bad. You're bad. But if they had it, if they were allowed to, they would do it.
Okay, so let me put it to you like this. I've said this on other podcasts. If you lined up every man on the planet and you took them and you put them in a room and you said, "Hey, listen, nobody's in here. It's just us. You can hit this button, and you can love your wife, be an amazing father." Sleep with as many hoes as you want, and then go home and hold your wife or have sex with your wife and hold her at night. All you have to do is hit this button and everybody will be cool with that. Every man would look left, he'd look right, make sure nobody's in the room, and he'd hit the fucking button.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like there was Adam22 who's like he's like a hip hop personality, and he was speaking about him and his wife. Like him and his wife, they do porn together. That's their thing. Oh. They do porn together.
Cool.
Yeah, which is interesting. You know, as a couple or whatever. But they were asking would he ever leave his woman for another lady, and he goes, "No." He's like, "I love my family." He's like, we've got a kid together and stuff like that. She helps me with my business. He's like, which is the ultimate turn on. He's like, a woman that can provide value and help me with my business, and we're making money together. Yeah. He's like, there's nothing better than that I could ask for. Yeah. But they asked him about Kim Kardashian. He's like, yeah, I like Kim. He's like, I'll sleep with her, but I wouldn't leave my family
for her. Oh, hell
I wouldn't
no.
leave my family for her.
That is a perfect example. A lot of guys would be like, yeah, like I'd sleep with her. Jennifer Lopez. Yeah. But if you got like the winning wife, no, we don't want to let that go. Yeah. We would just also bang her.
Now the issue is that if a woman was to do that, you were given that option and go, oh, do you love your husband? Yeah, I love my husband. Would you sleep with George Clooney? She'll go,
I'll marry George Clooney.
She'll go, yeah. But in her mind, she's like, I would also leave my husband
for George Clooney.
Men cheating is different than with women. Yeah. If she's cheating on you, she's leaving. She doesn't really want to be with you, or she's
already left.
Yeah, like mentally. Yeah. Or she's just with you for your resources. I was shocked when I realized I had to worry about ugly girls too. It's because men cheat differently. They can have sex with another girl and it's like a handshake. I've had guys describe it to me like a handshake.
When a guy has sex, it's not emotionally connected. I'm not making an emotional bond with you when I'm having sex with you.
I've heard men say that they slept with a girl and she was just better than their hand.
Because of hypergamy. Because of the need of women wanting to upscale. Always upscaling and going up.
Okay, she leave you on a heartbeat, man.
I understand.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, which is why Andrew Tate said what he did about not wanting his woman to work in the workforce, in a workplace. Anytime you're in a social setting with men and you got to work your way up and you gotta make these concessions with other men, you're not going to value your man at home because you're in the workforce and you might see someone that he might be a CTO in a better position than your husband. Yeah. And now that you've seen that CTO, you're like, oh.
Well, it's almost like a turn on.
Yeah, it's a turn on because of his traits. Yeah. It's his traits that made him become a CTO that you're excited about. Yeah. So this is why, for some men, they would ideally prefer their woman not be in the workforce, you know?
Or even prefer, like, the lady not to be, like, the partner of a... That's why they don't care. Like, oh, you're the partner of a... Cool, all right.
Yeah.
Great. I don't know what that does for me.
Yeah.
In fact, it might be a hassle for me because I might not be making as much money as you. You're going to find that attractive.
Yeah.
And again, the amount of women I've met were like, yeah, I'd be fine with that. Yeah, you say you're
fine
with it.
You'll tolerate it. Yeah, you'll tolerate it.
It'll get to you eventually.
And they say they'll do it because it sounds socially nice.
Yeah.
Women care a lot for social inclusion. So they all lie between a group of girls and go, we're all 10s. Because our self-esteem says we're 10s. Right, girls? Right, bitches? We're all 10s. Let them get into a conflict, and then the truth will come out. Go, you're 5, and you're fucking ugly.
Oh, even with their partner. Oh, well, I'm bringing home this much. Da da da. They would throw it in your face.
They would throw it in your face.
I'm working this many hours. I'm doing this. I'm bringing in the bread. Like I'm like,
yeah, because
I don't know, bite you in the ass.
Unfortunately, with women in the workforce, they tend to think about themselves, and you'll ask a girl like, "Do you need a guy to make the same amount of money as you?"
Yes.
And they'll go, "Yes, I want to equal." But
equal or more.
But that's what I'm saying. They'll say I want to equal, but they're lying. They actually don't want someone on the same level. They want someone making more than them. Somebody to look up to.
Like equal's like the bare minimum. They're like equal because it's like you said, socially accept. Like it sounds nice, but what the pure goal, what they truly want, would be someone make it double, triple, or more than what they are making. It's the same way like that lady. Most of the time, you look at workplaces, they're not like, oh, I'm a nurse, I'm gonna date that guy nurse. No, they're usually like, oh, what's the doctor doing? What's he up to?
Yeah.
Why I had a friend who works in that field. A lot of nurses are always trying to fuck the doctors. They're not trying to fuck the other male nurses.
They're not trying to fuck the other male nurses. So what I'm saying is that women being in a workforce and being in these certain places, like it messes with you psychologically because you won't necessarily value what you have at home if you see someone that has more money than you, you know, because women are hypergamous, and that the hypergamous thing is women dating up. They do it for security reasons because in ancient times that's what meant security for a woman, is try to find the guy who either was the most dangerous or provided the most. Yeah. You know, so it's
or
like
he was a leader, or
it's an innate thing in women for them to look for that or whatever. But also, the reason why sleeping around is not a good thing is because in ancient times, this was how men determined paternity.
Oh yes,
is knowing that you haven't been with multiple people. It was you were able to tell that you were the father of that child. You know, so in America's full of cases of women that have had kids, said it's your kid, and the kid grows up to be 20, 25, finds out that's not his dad, and the dad never knew, and so now he's upset, you know. Or in some states, they can pin child support onto a father without necessarily having any DNA proof that you are the biological father of that child. Matter of fact, there's a situation also in some states as well where if you're a stepfather and you've been married, that if you divorce, you're still liable for child support.
What?
Yeah, for the kid. Even if it's not
even your kid.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
So this is why America is a very
nuts.
Fucked up place.
That's a win.
And it's done intentionally. They've got everyone so divided on multiple levels that the people can't actually come together and find out who's running the country, who's playing them behind these different social movements, who's trying to separate them all by race, gender, vaccines, these sorts of topics, you know. So and while the people are too busy fighting for their subgroup, the wealthy families are passing policies on the behalf of all these underlings. So they look down on them like, yeah, let them fight. We'll throw a virus out there and we'll separate the classes and we'll let them police each other. So we actually don't have to police who's vaccinated, who's not. We'll just let them fight between each other. We'll find out who's not vaccinated, and then they'll get social pressure between each other to get vaccinated.
Which did happen.
Yeah, which happened.
I got policed by someone on the freaking road I never even met.
So ladies, what we're trying to advise to you and men as well, we're trying to educate you both across the board that yes, men can have casual interactions with ladies.
Yes.
Or whatever. And women, you can, but it comes with a price because of the oxytocin, because of your value also being tied to your chastity, which innately you don't want to reveal your body count, you know, because you know it could potentially disqualify you.
With a future partner.
Yeah,
and it's just ask yourself these questions.
You already know this.
Yeah.
So when you ask us like, hey, why can't I do what a man can do sexually? You know why you can't. Because you know that it will devalue you from actually for someone taking you serious, or you have any long-term opportunities for a stable, healthy relationship. Yeah, so
like at the end of the day, ask yourself these questions, and if you can sit there and you're just like, denying it the whole time, that's crazy. But you, like he said, you truly know, whether it's subconsciously or you just know.
Don't act like you don't know.
You know, and
You know.
I guess
And so
you don't want to know.
Yeah, so we're not trying to put you down, or we're not trying to put down women that.
I was just about to say,
Yeah,
like,
that-
if you want to go around and do
Yeah.
heaps of dudes, like, go for it. Like, it's totally
Yeah,
cool.
But you can do whatever you want. Just understand there's a consequence.
And that's with
to
everything.
that. With everything.
Yeah.
With everything. I mean, you might become a very skilled lover at some point, and I don't know. You might lock down a guy temporarily, but whether you will stay with them or not, probably not, because you've had so many sexual partners that you will always be dissatisfied.
Or you're running away from your past so much that you don't want him to find out, and you're so scared if he does find out, what's going to happen. So then that's still the same question.
Yeah.
You can't be mad about the consequences after.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Or you'll find someone and get married, but you'll divorce him eventually at some point. You know, it's that I can learn to love him, but you're not satisfied because you've had so many different experiences that you're just like, is this the best that I can do? Maybe the grass is greener. This is why women are on dating apps consistently deleting it and then re-downloading it. And then deleting it and going, third time here.
Third time's the charm.
I lost my account, but now I made a new one. It's just like,
Can't believe I'm back.
It's because you in your mind you keep thinking there's more out there for you because you've overvalued yourself. And normally that overvalue is because of a sexual interaction you had with somebody.
Women all want a very small percentage of men. If you ask 80% of women what they want in a man, they list 20% of men. So the reason that girls say things like men are trash, men are the problem, is because we're all sleeping with the same ones. Sasha, how tall are you?
5'7".
How tall would you like your potential boyfriend to be?
He had to be over 6 foot.
Over 6 foot?
Yeah.
What percent of guys do you think are over 6 foot?
30-40%?
15. Or you're looking for a guy that's 6 foot or taller, you're competing with everyone because all the girls want him, even the short girls.
And I would say men have it harder just based off the fact that girls can walk around saying that they're 10s. The inflated self-esteem that social media has provided has made the average woman way happier than the average man. The average man is a lot of them are invisible and miserable now. And we don't talk about that. The self-deletion rate being 5 times higher for men than women is something that no one even thinks or talks.
You slept with one guy that was a high tier and now it's permanently fucked you up. So now you're constantly trying to find someone on that same high tier. Now understanding that guy on that high tier sleeps around with everybody.
Yeah, by the way, that guy that you got with he's definitely got with all your friends.
Yeah,
you know?
he's probably slept with your entire friend circle. And the reason why your friend circle will keep sleeping with him, even though they know that you have slept with him, is because they respect his ambition.
Yeah.
They respect the traits that he has.
Yes.
So men have to come with all the tools. We have to do a lot of work. You also have to do work. And part of that work doesn't necessarily include you trying to do what men do and casually having sex indiscriminately. But by all means, if you want to have fun, there's men available for fun, and we're not here to judge you.
Yeah.
But we're trying to tell you something that's going to help you in a more healthy...
If you're trying to bag a guy.
Yeah, healthy, ethical way. If you're trying to find stability in a relationship.
That's because I had to unlearn a lot of the social programming that told me that my worth came from career success. And I had to relearn what men really want in a relationship, which is they want a woman to make them feel appreciated, supported. They want a woman to bring out his masculine even more and play the feminine role.
Let's try to make his penis hard, not his life. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
It's very valid.
Yes,
Yeah.
make his dick hard, not his life, so he will make your pussy wet, not your eyes.
This is how the stability will you'll be affected from trying to be secure and stable with one partner. If you have multiple partners, it comes with a consequence. So
Yo.
Think that's it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh,
we got that in the can, guys. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys tune in for the next episode. We got more topics coming away, more pop culture stuff. We got more stuff with Kim Kardashian, whoever, Ray J,
Pete Davidson,
whoever's in the news. We're coming for you. We're gunning for you because this is what affects society as a whole. We look at public figures. We look at pop culture. And it's all tied into love and life. There's only men and women on earth, and you got to know how to live and deal with both genders and appreciate both of them. We serve a greater purpose.
What he said.
Love, guys. Love. Peace. We out.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Mike, the trap stupid, boy, you coming through. The club jumping, boy, you coming through. My girlfriend say she wanna fuck with you. Say what? Paint the Chevy, throw some rims on it too. Roll a blunt for me and roll one for you. Fuck with me, you're fucking with the whole crew. Say what? Trap out all the perk, I don't need no scale. Got a real trap house and real clientele. 572, the biggest motor Chevy made. 700 horses, real heavyweight. I get heavy cake every day, my birthday. Birthday sex with your beach, fuck a airway. Bout to mount it up, gon' put them 30s on it. Bank stupid with, like my lady squirted on it. I'm a guap boy, body all marked up. Tryna be a hot boy, get your body chalked up. In high school, borrow jewels for show and tell. Oh well, I'm fly as hell. Trap stupid, boy, you coming through.